I was always interested in doing something along the lines of research. And as they say, 40 years later, the rest is history. I'm Professor Alan Boyd. I trained in medicine a long while ago, and as a postgraduate I spent 5 years in hospital medicine, hoping to become a clinical pharmacologist. But I've been in the industry now for 40 years. I've helped the faculty grow from 1989 when it was formed, and ended up as president from 2015 to 18. Probably the most important thing I helped was to establish the specialty of pharmaceutical medicine and get the approval from the Queen in 2002. I started at medical school, and it became fairly obvious to me that the medical course does not teach you about research. So I had the opportunity, after 2 years at medical school, to go and do a degree in biochemistry, which is what I did. And then afterwards, I became interested in clinical pharmacology. And so I was pursuing, as a postgraduate, to become a clinical pharmacologist. However, in 1985, I was persuaded to join Glaxo. And I was recruited because they turned on the research engine, and they wanted somebody to set up a phase 1 unit in their facility in Greenford in West London. And that's where I got into research. Over the past 40 years, I've been involved in setting up many clinical trials and designing them and running them. However, a few years ago, I was involved with a company that was developing a treatment for a rare disease called Niemann-Pick's disease. It's a rare condition in children. And one of the problems these children have as they're growing up is they can't walk, and they lose the ability to walk. And I thought that should be the key endpoint for the study, ability to walk. However, I spent the weekend with the parents and children of the Niemann-Pick Society, who got together every year in Cambridge. And I asked them, the parents, what's the most important thing to you with your child or children, because this runs in families? And most of them said, as their brain gets clogged up with cholesterol, they lose the ability to communicate, to talk, and to swallow. I went home, I tore up the protocol and gave the endpoints of being able to speak, swallow, and communicate. So that's something that changed my practice, was talking to patients and their parents. People will be aware that I was one of the so-called pioneers in gene therapy in the late 90s into 2000s, when I set up, along with others, the first gene therapy company in the world called ARC Therapeutics, and took the first gene therapy up to registration with the European Medicines Agency for brain cancer. It didn't make it, but I like to think we paved the way for everything else. Where I see it going, I think there will be much more personalized medicines. I mean, it's just been announced they're going to, read the genome of every baby that's born in this country. So hopefully we'll be able to identify if they've got problems and attack that. Not many people know this, but I nearly became an actor, not a doctor, because I grew up in Blackpool, and as a child I played a lot of the children's parts in the professional theatres. But I also wanted to be a doctor from a very early age. And so I said to my father, Dad, when I was in the sixth form, what should I do? And he said, we've talked about it and we think you should be a doctor. And afterwards you can go and be an actor. And it's for that reason why I love teaching. Give me an audience to lecture to present to. It's great.